Need tools? We've got you covered. Go to ChromebookParts.com or click on the link below to pick up this sleek, portable toolkit. Flip the device over and unscrew 9 captive screws in the bottom cover. Gently insert the opener pick between the bottom cover and the palmrest and slide along the edges to pop the bottom cover free. Unplug the battery from the motherboard. Remove 7 3.5mm screws and 1 4.5mm screw from the motherboard. Remove the 3 brackets. And keep in mind that the middle bracket needs to slide out from underneath this lip. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the LCD cable from the motherboard. Unplug the speaker from the motherboard. Pull back the locking clips and unplug the palmrest cable from the motherboard. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the touchpad cable from the motherboard. Flip open the locking clips and unplug the daughterboard cables from the motherboard. Gently pull up to unplug the Wi-Fi antenna cables from the motherboard. Gently lift up and pull back on the motherboard, taking care not to bend or damage the ports. Remove 4 3.5mm screws and 1 4.5mm screw from the daughterboard. Slide the bracket out from underneath the lip, and gently lift up and pull back on the daughterboard, taking care not to bend or damage the port. Remove 3 3.5mm screws from the battery. Remove the speakers and unseat their cable from its grooves. Remove 3 2mm screws from the touchpad and 3 3mm screws from the touchpad bracket. Remove the touchpad bracket, peel the cable from the palmrest, and remove the touchpad. Remove 6 4.5mm screws from the hinges. Unseat the antenna cable from its grooves. Lift the palmrest partway up and gently wiggle it free from the LCD assembly. Replace the palmrest. and replace the 6 4.5mm screws into the hinges. Replace the touchpad. Replace the bracket. And replace the 3 2mm screws and 3 3mm screws. Replace the speakers and reseat their cable back into its grooves. Replace the battery, and replace the 3 3.5mm screws. Replace the daughterboard back into its port slot. Slide the bracket underneath the lip. And replace the 4 3.5mm screws and 1 4.5mm screw. Replace the motherboard back into its port slots, and be sure to get all the cables out from underneath. Plug the LCD cable back into the motherboard. Plug the speaker cable back into the motherboard. Plug the Palmrest cable back into the motherboard. Plug the touchpad cable back into the motherboard. Plug the daughterboard cables back into the motherboard. Reseat the antenna cables back into their grooves. And gently push down to plug the antenna cables back into the motherboard. Slide the middle motherboard bracket underneath the lip. Replace the bottom bracket next. And replace the top bracket last. Replace the 7 3.5mm screws and 1 4.5mm screw. Be sure to replace the Wi-Fi bracket before replacing that screw. Replace the battery cable back into its grooves and plug the battery back into the motherboard. Replace the bottom cover and push down to snap it back into place. Tighten the 9 captive screws in the bottom cover.